Hi, this is author Kristen Otte here. If I look a little windblown, it's because I just got back from a walk with our dogs Zelda and Peach. Before I get to today's topic about killing off characters, I wanted to just ask a really serious question here about two fellow dog owners. So, my pug Zelda, who you might know through the books I write about her, or the characters are similar between the book and her in real life. But anyways, on walks, she likes to do this funny thing where she wants to go certain directions. And so if she wants to go left per se, and I want to go right, she will lunge left until we go that way. And if we don't go that way, she will just lay down in the grass and just stay there and won't budge. And so you literally have to yank her up to get her to go that direction. So she's very stubborn, just like pugs are supposed to be. And I just wondered if your dog ever leads you in a certain direction on your walks, or if that's just a Zelda characteristic. Peach doesn't seem to do any of that. She seems to just go with the flow, go wherever her sister tells her to, or where we lead. So that it's always an adventure with Zelda because, for instance, I set out for, a 15, 20-minute walk. It ends up being 30 minutes because either Zelda keeps laying down because she wants to go a different way, or we go the other way and then it ends up taking us on a much farther walk. So that's just an adventure with Zelda. Anyways, today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about killing off main characters in novels. And this topic came to me from reading Game of Thrones, the book 3 of the series, Storm of Swords. So I wrote a little bit on my blog a week or two ago about how much is too long for a book regarding Game of Thrones. That made me think about that a bit. And so it also made me think about killing off main characters. So in case you're unfamiliar with the Game of Thrones novel series, or now the very popular television series, one thing that it's very known for is that nobody is safe, meaning any of the characters, main character or not, can be killed at any moment. Characters you like, characters you don't like, nobody is safe. And so that's kind of like the series, the point of the series in some ways, and what draws people to it. And I think that works really well in television. But I'm wondering if that's not the best course of action for novels. So, for example, I was reading this third book, Storm of Swords, and I think about 2/3 way through, a few main characters died that I really liked, and so I was mad. I was mad about it, and I almost stopped reading the book because I was like, I don't want to read anymore if they're not a part of this book. I don't really like anybody else in this story. And so it really became a stumbling block for me. Now, I kept reading. I don't know, partially because I have this like compulsion to always finish the books I read. And so I kept reading and the story turned around in some ways. And so I finished the book feeling satisfied, wanting to keep reading. But it still tripped me up there. When is killing characters a good idea and a bad idea? When does it add to the story and when does it detract from the story? And I really think that sometimes in the Game of Thrones it might detract a little bit from the story, especially when you're reading. I think when I read personally, I get more connected with the characters than I do, let's say, watching television or watching a movie. And so maybe in the television series it works better. But for me, reading it, I don't know. So that's just the question to think about today. When should you kill off main characters? And when is it good for your story and add to it? And when does it detract from it? And maybe when do you lose readers because of it? So any thoughts that you have are welcome in the comments for that. Besides that, just a quick couple updates about what's happening here in Cincinnati. In case you don't know, I moved here a couple months ago on Valentine's Day. Woohoo! It was very romantic, I must say, with my husband from Cleveland to Cincinnati. And since then, I've started working as a reading tutor. And I work with kids of all ages, some with known deficits or disabilities, some who have just fallen a little behind. And it's really fun. I really enjoy it, and I'm glad to have that as my afternoon job, so I'm usually there in the afternoons most weekdays. And besides that, I also just got a coaching job here, so I've coached basketball for the past 5 years, but obviously with the move, I'm not going to commute all the way to Cleveland for a coaching job, and so I'm excited to be coaching freshman girls coming up next winter, which I understand is several months away, but it's good to have that in the bag. Besides that, life is good. Brian loves his job. Dogs love Cincinnati. We went to our first pug meetup, and nobody knew that Peach wasn't a pug, so that was good. It was a good time. Zelda actually, we were a little worried about her. Sometimes she can be funny around other dogs and not so nice. But she was great. She loved it. She ran around with all the pugs, and it made us think that maybe she just has a problem with dogs that don't look like her. Maybe she gets a little confused when they actually have snouts. But what do we know? So it was good. We look forward to those pug meetups. It's a lot of fun. And besides that, writing wise, if you're following me, the photograph comes out in mid-June, aiming for a June 17th release. All of the edits, it's all polished. I'm just putting some final touches on formatting as the cover design is created. So that's exciting. Zelda 3 goes to the editor at the end of May, and then I'll work on final edits, polishing, and formatting for that. I'm looking for an end of summer release for that. The Adventures of Zelda, Pug and Peach is the title for the third book in that series, so I'm really excited for that. That will probably be my last Zelda book, at least for a while. I kind of want to take a break and focus on some more young adult fiction for a while. So let's see. And I'm working on a new project too amidst all that. So it's a fantasy novel set in a world with a lot of water. That's pretty much it right now. So, or at least all that I'm willing to share, as I'm only about 15,000 words in out of, I don't know, probably about 70,000. So all of that is good. Let's see, I can't think of anything else I need to share with you at the moment. Thanks for supporting me, and look for more info on the photograph coming out soon. I can't wait to get that first big novel out to you guys. Thanks, have a great week.